Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the Alive Church Xfinity Series here at North Wilkesboro for 200 laps of racing action. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Randy McCanny. Randy, welcome to the booth, my friend. We got ourselves a good short track, action-packed race here tonight.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a tight field. Qualifying laps are pretty close, and it's going to be a tricky track with 20 drivers on it, so looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, let's talk a bit about the track here. So it's a little, it looks like an oval, but it's not, right? Two distinctly different corners, and they're a little bit awkward. In particular, I think 1 and 2, Randy. There's some weird notches in there, but you can really get a run off the corner if you set it up right.
Yeah, and there's bumps down low, and especially in 3 and 4. And if you hit those bumps, it's unsettling, but there's some grip down there. And with the Xfinity car, the horsepower they have, it's going to be tough getting off these corners. So whoever can line up to get off the corners the best should have a pretty good advantage over the others.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. And as some of you might know, we've had a few issues as of late, or more particularly, I'd say I've had some issues. So I've had to buy a brand new PC, and we've lost a lot of files. So we won't have your standings tonight, but I do know Bryce Reiner has a substantial lead in this series. So right now, not a lot to talk about outside of does he wreck, I guess, and finish last would be a talking point on that. But other than that, it kind of frees everybody up, doesn't it, Randy? I mean, people, this is a win or go home type of situation for a lot of guys.
Yeah, it's getting that part of the season where Bryce has got that lead, so him making a mistake or having internet issues, that'll open the door for some other guys, but everybody else through the field's getting pretty tight and battling for every position.
Yeah, absolutely. And out in YouTube land, anybody out there, if the volumes are wrong or whatever, please let us know as we try to work through this stuff and get her all set up, right? Pretty excited though, Randy. I mean, back here, it's only a week off. I feel like it's been a month how long this little turmoil was.
Oh, computer problems will nag you for a month easily.
Look over on YouTube. It doesn't look like we got a lot of people out there right now, but hopefully that'll pick up as we go. Look on the board.
Early.
It's very early. Bryce Reiner, top of the board. Nothing to be surprised at there. I guess the biggest surprise, Randy, looks like he's got a new paint job out there.
New paint job, same results.
Yeah, I mean, he's just very, very good. Otto Vianney's second on the board, and this is just warm-up we're looking at right now, so these guys got a little bit to go here as they work their way through the warm-ups. And we'll be staying here for it, Randy. One big reason is we don't have any commercials at the moment.
It's going to be a jam-packed night, commercial-free.
It is. I love it. Let's hop on board here. Let's go to Tony Ratliff. Well, Ratliff's pulling in. It looks like we'll go to Otto Vianney and go on board with him here. So we get in his cockpit and just have a look here and kind of see what we can see as he pulls over, of course. I guess warm-up coming to a conclusion. Perhaps I need a little work on the timing. A week off might be too long for me, Randy.
Yeah, we got to slim that down by a couple days.
All right, everybody gridding up. All right, let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's going to be Jason Jackson grabbing the pole there. So we've seen Reiner. That was in warm-ups. He'll be starting at the back, apparently late in the servers, so you have to start at the back of the field. But Jason Jackson been so good lately. We'll start on the point. It's Greg Ratliff starting on the outside, row number 1. Row 2 features Jason Ratliff and Rachel Hunt. Row 3, you got Tony Ratliff and Michael Ottoviani. George Leal will be starting in 7th with Corey Leal in 8th. Jason Spear 9th and James A. Bear will start 10th. Row number 6 will feature the Toad Man, Todd Gilly and George Dibble. Tom Ashley and Paul Travis Sr. will start in row 7. Row 8, Buskirk and Ashley. You got Kane and Helm, LaPrime, Brantley, and Reiner bringing up the rear. Jackson and Ratliff. We're going to take another lap around here. Now, what's the key here, Randy, on this restart? Is there anything outside of, be patient and don't wreck?
It's pretty much going to be the sum of this whole night, but cold tires going down into turn 1. Those bumps. The bumps will definitely get the car upset. So if you're on the inside, you kind of got to take it easy. I think that outside line is going to have a good chance of taking the lead here.
All right. Once again, folks, please tell us of any volume problems or any other things that you notice. We got to get these things fixed. Jason Jackson, Greg Ratliff, Jason Ratliff, and Rachel Hunt. We're green. You see the tower's got time to go. I'm not sure why that's up there, but we'll get that fixed at some point.
And I noticed that Jason Jackson actually got a great restart or start of the race, and he jumped out to a good lead. I thought maybe Greg on the outside would have a better shot coming off that corner.
Yeah, a little further back. Hunt up high. Ottoviani underneath, so Hunt giving a ton of room. Spears down there as well. Looks like Corey Leal getting shuffled out a little bit. Good job by everybody so far, though. Nice and clean through the first few laps.
Yeah, with this group, they're so patient. They race so clean that, they take real pride in not roughing people up. So kind of expected out of these guys and girl.
Still trying to find that lap setting. We're not going to find it by the looks of it, so it's going to be hard pressed to see what lap we're on here, Randy. Maybe you'll be able to let us know as we go.
Oh, absolutely. I'll keep us filled in on laps.
Right now, top 3 looking good. Tony Ratliff right there. George Leal already picked up a couple of spots. No surprise there, Randy.
No surprise at all. And looking back through the field, Paul Travis, he's picked up 4 spots. He looked to have a great start. And there's some guys back. Bryce Reiner especially. He started 21st. He's up to the 15th spot.
All right, so Travis on the move. Reiner on the move. Oh, and contact the Toad Man and Jason Spear. Behind him looks like Corey Leal continuing to fall back. He has now lost 8 spots since the start of the race. My goodness.
Yeah, I see he's got a little bit of rear damage. I don't know if that was just checkup. They've been racing side by side, so just a little hiccup and he's got a little rear damage, but he continues on.
Oh, contact near the back. Buskirk and Herb Ashley into each other. Looks like they're going to be all right, though, as they continue side by side. Move a little further up. Hellman, Dibble, and Spear has lost it. He hangs on to it, though. Wow. Jason Spears sliding through the corner somehow. Let's get a replay on that. So Spear on entry here, and it looks like just a little too hard in there, up in the high stuff, and no harm, no foul there, but costly losing those spots. They're hard to get here, Randy.
Yeah, and especially with the people, everybody's time so close together. You know, if you're a tenth faster, it's going to take you a while, and a tenth faster is a huge time difference on this short track.
So Jackson continuing to lead. Jason Ratliff moved up into second in front of Greg. So the Rifleman moving up here. And, you know, we've seen a lot out of him recently. Randy, he's shown a lot of speed and, and some good finishes too. But we're waiting for that. We're expecting him to be the next, breakout driver here.
And with his pace tonight, he looks like he's being very patient and just letting the car come to him, and he's slowly getting Jason Jackson catching up to him, so tonight might be his night.
It just might. There's Tony Ratliff. So we got the three Ratliffs, second, third, and fourth. Family squabble incoming. There is Leal in fifth, Hunt sixth, Otto Viani. Travis looking to move up right now underneath Otto Viani. So Travis looking racy here tonight.
Yeah, looks like he's got a real good car tonight. Moved up from starting 13th. He's up to 7th. And a lot of these drivers showing a lot of patience. It's a 200 lap race, so that's a lot of laps at this little track, especially you're always going to be around somebody, either lapping somebody or just racing people.
So there we go. We do have the laps on the tower now. 17 is what lap we're on. There's Otto Viani. A-Bear now stalking him. Wow! Almost contact. Aggressive undercut there by the 25. That's kind of what you got to do. You got to get a run going into the corner, and it's very hard to do, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you don't want to wreck somebody, but you can't give them an inch because you're going to spend the next 2 laps trying to get that run back. So every chance you can get a run, you got to take it.
So early going, Jason Jackson continuing to lead this race, looking very, very solid. We'll go on board here again and just have a look and see how he's driving out here. You can see here on entry, the wheel not doing a whole lot. It actually kind of flicks it a little to the right on entry. It's a bit of a trick, isn't it, Randy?
Yeah, it's almost like you're driving it in till it gets a little bit loose, so it helps it rotate around the corner, and then straightening it back up to go through it.
Yeah, very interesting watching this here. It's a great job by Jason Jackson. Go back to Jason Ratliff. Well, let's go back to Jackson. You think he's shifting, Randy?
I do.
I don't think he is.
I'm just listening off of RPMs.
Yeah, I'm listening as well. It's hard to tell, but I don't think he is. But he very well could be. It'd be very interesting if he was.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of working going on a short track with shifting.
Oh my God! I can barely broadcast, let alone even get around this track. Don't ask me to shift, Randy.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
Greg Ratliff almost into the back of Jason there. He had to take evasive action, And he did. Everybody's safe. My goodness.
Yeah, it's going to be a family shootout tonight for second so far.
Hunt way up the track. Looked like she kind of missed that corner. And we're seeing a bit of that, Randy. What's going on here? Is this just driving in too deep? Or why are these people seemingly in the middle of the corner driving up the track?
It's either driving in too deep or somebody like Rachel might be letting it float up to the top. But this track's notorious, especially going into 1 and 2, you're going downhill, so you're carrying even more speed, so it's so easy to overdrive these corners.
Right now, Bryce Reiner, big mover on the night, up 13 spots in the early going. No small feat here at North Wilkesboro.
No, not at all, but Bryce is a great driver on these short tracks, so I'd expect nothing less of him, and car staying clean, and he definitely looks like he's the fastest car on the track at the moment.
Yeah, well, let's see here. His lap time at 20.03. Now he's in traffic. Our leader with a 20 flat, Jason Ratliff at 20.02. So he's right in there. And like I said, he is in traffic, so he perhaps could be the fastest car on the track.
And this is where he's got to be patient, not burn his tires off with such a long race. I don't know what the fuel stop would be, but I'm gonna guess it's got to be close to 100.
Almost 3 wide here. Helm peeking in the middle. That's back in 11th place. That was dangerous there momentarily. So
and that's where the patience got to come in there. 3 wide on this track. It's fine through the middle of the corner, but coming off these corners, it narrows up really quick.
It really does. I mean, you have to have some patience, but you can see Helm losing his patience here as he got Rachel way up high. Now she's starting to make that work a little bit. And Otto Viani on the bottom, there's nothing he can do. He can't seem to get off the corner well enough. Helm's starting to get impatient. He peeks again to that middle. He's going to make a move one of these times.
Yeah, he's going to drive it in one of these corners, and it's going to stick enough that they're going to end up being 3 wide coming out.
Looks like Rachel's gotten clear, so that'll open it up for Helm to try and go up the high side. But this time Rachel tagged the wall a little bit. That'll bring them back together slightly.
I was going to say, she was using all the track in that corner.
I mean, good, hard racing here. My goodness. Up in front of them, Reiner in a bit of a log jam here with Bear and Travis. So Reiner continuing his march to the front. He's going to get by both these guys eventually, I think. And there he's loose. Travis loose on the high side. So they're both busted loose, but Reiner coming through.
Yeah, and I really like the line he's taking. He's going in the corner. It looks like he's braking a little bit earlier, but holding that bottom line and rotating through the bottom better.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, almost every track we talk about it, Randy, the white line, your best friend here on iRacing, isn't it?
Yeah, 99% of the tracks, Kansas would be the oddball one.
There's George Leal. He's up a couple of spots. Looks like he's being his patient self. So I expect these guys to do 100 laps on this set of tires with the fuel. It's going to be, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they can do 100, Randy.
I would guess 100 probably. But, man, your tire's going to be smoked by the end of that 100 laps. You'll be crying for tires.
Well, it's lap 37, and I'm seeing guys getting loose off on exit. So, I mean, yeah, they're going to be in deep trouble. Right now, Jason Ratliff in third. I think that's Buskirk he's going around. So Buskirk in trouble, already a lap down.
Yeah, it looks like he pulled it into the pits.
Jason Jackson continues to be our race leader. And now Greg Ratliff seemingly coming back. So Greg, things are he's liking it here.
Yeah, he's a very patient driver. Maybe he saved his tires this first 30 laps, and now it's starting to come back to him.
So anybody out in chat again, if you hear any volume problems or anything, please say something and give us a heads up. It's Jackson and 3 Ratliffs and Leal in your top 5.
And just watching Greg, if you're watching his car, he's going in the corner easy, but it's not getting loose coming off. He's pretty straight coming off, and as I say that, it gets a little bit loose off of that corner, but the last few laps, his car looks very stable.
I mean, you see him here, right down the white line. A little bump there. You talked about those bumps in 3 and 4, but pretty smooth for North Wilkesboro, all in all.
Absolutely. And the bumps definitely can upset the car, especially if you step on the gas, if you're on the throttle a little bit going over those bumps, it'll definitely loosen your car up.
I wonder if anybody's going to try that 1 and 2, that high to low line. You can come in really high and late sweep down. Right where that nook is in the corner is where you want to kind of cut down to, and you can get one heck of a run there, Randy.
Yeah, you can actually, it's almost a straight shot from right through there, right through the backstretch. So you get a great run.
Jackson already working his way up to Dibble. Spear and the Toad Man. So Jason Spear recovering from his early little, I don't know what it was, a slide, I guess we'll call it.
Yeah, it looked like he just overdrove. He might have had a lot of rear braking to help him turn, but definitely was loose into that corner.
And Brian Helm coming into the pits. Looks like he's going to call it a night. Maybe he prefers a track like Charlotte, Randy.
Yeah, Charlotte a little bit faster. Those cookie cutters, he might like those better than these little rough short tracks.
So you got Jason Jackson in the 86. He's working on Dibble already. Dibble way up the track, giving a ton of room. So Jason will appreciate that, no doubt. But we're in the early going here, lap 47 to 200. Jason Jackson took the pole, continues to lead your top 3 right where they started. Him, Greg Ratliff, Jason Ratliff, and then you got Tony Ratliff, who's picked up a spot. George Leal's picked up a couple, and don't look now, Bryce Reiner knocking on the top 5.
Yeah, Bryce is coming on. Another thing these guys got to think about with this short track, if you pit and it's under green, which it appears everybody's been holding it together, I bet you probably are going to lose 2 laps. So, getting as much as you can before your pit stop is going to be beneficial.
Bear in 7th. He's picked up a few spots. Car could be going away on him, though. And you see Tom Ashley back here just broke loose on exit. So we're 50 laps in, Randy. These guys trying to make it to lap 100, you would think. How difficult is it going to be for them? I mean, what do they have to do if their car is already breaking down? Do they got to switch to a 2-stop strategy?
You definitely got to start thinking about it, but with Jason and Greg up front, it's such a risk because, like I said, you're inevitably going to lose 2 laps if you pit under green, and then to do a 2-stopper, you're going to have to make up a lot of time with that undercut. But if your tires are breaking loose now, you're pretty much in a box where you either 2-pit or you just try to baby and nurse that thing to lap 100.
So we're on board with Rachel, or we're going off her rear bumper here, and you can just see how high she's running. And Tom Ashley comes down the track underneath her, but she powers off in front of him lap after lap.
Yeah, she looks like she's driving, trying to do the diamond and straighten it up off the corner to kind of save her tires, but I think she's just sliding too much in the middle. It's not a ton of grip up there.
Well, you could hear it that time, Randy, as we stayed with this view. You could hear it in the middle of the corner, exactly what you said. That car is losing grip and sliding up the track.
But I give her credit. I mean, she's going where other people aren't, so she's been committed to that high line this whole race.
Well, this is something we've been seeing from her a lot lately. Do you think there's something she's kind of figured out with iRacing in general, that this high line, she seems to really prefer it?
And it could be. It could save her tires a little bit more, or just fit her driving style where she's more comfortable up there.
Here comes Jason Spear. So Spear looking pretty good here outside of that one little problem he had. That really set him back. He's right back where he started, or one spot back. So next up for Spear is going to be Tom Ashley, and that'll put him back where he started.
And kudos to Jason for, not overreacting and getting loose there, and he's been patient, and it's taken 30 laps to get back there, but he has gotten back there.
Up front, Jason Jackson. We'll go on board with him, see how he deals with this traffic. He's got some serious traffic here. Corey Leal, and it looks like, is that Herb Ashley down there? I'm not sure.
Yeah, and Jason, this is where as the leader, you got to be very careful picking your way through here. And those two running in front of him, he doesn't get to run the line he prefers. So it's going to definitely close the field up again.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Ratliff taking advantage of this, currently in second. He is closing in, and this is the thing. This is why, at a short track in particular, you show patience, because a leader can get away, but then he comes up to these side-by-side cars, and there's not a lot he can do sometimes, and you just find yourself back right on his bumper without even putting out an effort, Randy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Greg's doing. In the last 3 laps, he's cut off about 0.4 of a second off that lead.
So our leader, Jason Jackson, working his way by Corey Leal. That'll lap us down to 13 cars on the lead lap. Next up, Herb Ashley and the Toad Man himself. Oh, Greg Ratliff's seriously loose. He hangs on to it, but he might be over-pressing that car right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the battle. When you're battling with the lap cars, they're trying to stay on the lead lap. They don't want to go lap down, which that's their right, but it definitely hurts your tires.
The other thing is, we've had a couple of pitters, and the interesting part, Randy, is it's not even a third of the way. I mean, maybe getting close, right? I think you got to get to about 67 or something to get to a third of a way. So guys like Paul Travis already pitted. I mean, my goodness, that's early here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, it's early, and like I said, he went 2 laps down by pitting. Granted, he was, mid-pack. That's why it's hard to do it until the leader pits. It's hard to try to that undercut. And once you do, you definitely got to be patient enough to know it'll come back to you. It just might take another 30 laps. And I was mistaken. Paul's only 1 lap down.
So Jackson continuing to lead. Ratliff second, Jason Ratliff, Tony Ratliff, George Leal. Nothing changing there. Reiner has not been able to get closer. He might have overused his car. Looks like that car has gone away on him. He's currently about 2 or 3 tenths off our leader. So Reiner, I mean, you really don't want to push this thing early here if you're going to try and do 100 laps, Randy.
No, you pretty much got to be in tire saving mode the entire time just to keep the car under you. And just looking at the lap times, Paul Travis running a 20.38. The leader's at a 21.2. So tires are definitely worth a lot of time. It's just patience, patience, patience.
There's Otto Viani. Looks like he might be closing back up on Reiner.
Yeah, Bryce might have used his car up. I mean, he's came from 21st up to 6th, so he's definitely drove his car hard to get up to that point.
I tell you, Otto Viani and Spear are running some of the best times on the track, along with Edward Kane last lap, too, was pretty quick. Or a lap ago, not this current lap.
Yeah, he's running up on cars in traffic right now.
So some comers and goers here this evening. Corey Leal has faded. Sami's lost 7. George Dibble's lost 5. Paul Travis with that pit. And I think a couple of these guys have pitted. Actually, let's bring up our pit board and have a little look and see. So you have Travis pitted on 57. Helm, LaPrime, and Brantley. Nobody else has been in.
So Paul will be the gauge. And that definitely, to me, feels like he's going for a 2-step.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure. He's having a lot more fun than everybody else. Passing everybody. The car's underneath him. He's got to be loving it.
Oh, Superman with those new tires. The other guys out there, 73 lap old tires. And you come out with those fresh tires and half a second to a second faster. It's a lot of fun when you can control your car.
Let's pull up a replay here as Otto Viani has gotten back around Reiner. So there's something happened with Reiner. I'm going to have a look at it. Oh, he broke loose in the center there. You can see him top of your screen, just breaking loose, almost lost the car. And he somehow hung on to it, did not overcorrect. Great job of doing that, but that allowed Otto Viani to come up and underneath. And there he goes, right on through.
Yeah, and when you get those rear tires angry at you, they stay angry for a few laps. Then I see Jason Spear now catching up and trying to make a move on him.
So Spear drives right by, and there's Travis with his fresh rubber coming through. So, yeah, right now Reiner's struggling out there, and the Toad Man on the pit road. So lap 76, he vacates his strategy. So this is very interesting here. These guys who come in and pit under green and looking for a 2-stop, no chance against a 1-stop at a place like North Wilkesboro, in my opinion.
I agree. There's not enough time, and even with 0.8 of a second faster for 20 laps, you just can't make up 2 laps. It's just there's not enough time in the race.
And we got Reiner coming in as well as he vacates. He says enough of this. Meanwhile, Jason Ratliff has moved into second, and Greg Ratliff has fallen back to third. So Greg has really fallen off. Remember, he got to the bumper of Jason Jackson when he was in traffic there, and all of a sudden he finds himself 5 seconds behind him, or 4.5, Randy.
Yeah, and if you watch his car, he's definitely got the rear tires about melted off of that, and just really loose getting off. Hard to put the power down coming off the corner.
We ask again, anybody out watching on YouTube, if the volumes are off or anything, please let us know. Working with a brand new system here, so bear with us and let us know anything needs any fixing.
Got to give Jason Jackson a lot of credit that, he's been consistent. His car's been stable. There's been points where he's had to push it, but definitely running a great race, great strategy race.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, by the looks of it, Randy, I mean, he's out on the country drive right now. He's not over pushing that car on exit. I haven't seen that thing even wiggle yet.
No. Oh,
And we are under caution. George Dibble, what has happened? So George Dibble takes it to the garage. Wow! So your pitters now trapped a lap down. Do they stay out, get a wave around? I mean, if they do, how much trouble are they in? Wow, decisions to be had here.
Not a decision I would want to try to make, because somebody like Paul Travis, who pitted, 30 lap old tires still, if you stay out there, you're a sitting duck. If you pit, you're still a lap down. That's a tough decision to make.
And you can go a lap down pitting here. You see everybody catching up. The pits open up so fast that like Edward Kane still coming around the track. Everybody's on pit road. Oh, Kane's going to stay out. Travis stayed out. Reiner stayed out. So those three will be your leaders.
Yeah,
actually, it looks like
track.
Jackson, they're moving in front. So there's been some scoring issues here with North Wilkesboro during the open sessions on iRacing. There's been a few issues that I've seen and a couple I've heard about. But I don't know if Kane got caught in that or not, but he's on pit road now. Jackson does come out in first.
And that's where it is. If you're back even on the lead lap, but if you're back far, by the time you catch up, the leaders are already coming off of pit road.
Very interesting development. So right now we have 10 cars out there in line. You got Kane, who's on pit road. Reiner, who's coming. He's going to be your lucky dog, I believe, as he gets a wave by. So he'll be on the lead lap, and then it'll be Herb Ashley. He is going to be stuck a lap down in 13th position. So everybody behind him, Leo, Buskirk, Travis, all trapped. Looks like the Dibble and the Toad Man have called it a night, along with Helm, LaPrime, and Brantley.
Yeah, this definitely mixed up the field.
Yeah, I know.
Brought everybody right back into it.
It did, and a great start here by Jason Jackson. So Jackson gets off and running. Behind him, all kinds of cars fighting it out. Hunt down low, Ashley up high. Looks ahead of them, looks like Leal. Tony Ratliff wrapping the wall there, and wow, he'll get a big run.
Now my question is, can you go 115 laps on a tank of fuel? That's about what they're going to have to do.
Well, that now we're talking very interesting stuff, because anybody racing hard right now, you're making a huge mistake if you want to try and do those. Jason Jackson just set the best lap of the race in 19.97, so he's not slowing down any.
No, he's trying to check out again and get that big lead that he gave up under that caution and try to save fuel that way.
Looks like everybody getting it sorted out. Reiner right behind. That is Paul Travis and Corey Leal. They are both a lap down, and boy, they're racing for this lucky dog, I'm telling you.
Oh, absolutely. Now they're just, whoever's in the head of the other one is just praying for a caution.
And Reiner right there in that mix. So he finds himself in the same spot he was at the beginning of the race. He's got to work through the field. Does he be a little more patient this time, Randy, and not burn his stuff up?
And that's what it appears. He's trying to let these guys figure it out and just run his line and not burn his tires off. But it's tough to have that patience and watch the leader pull away from you.
We got Tony Ratliff and Jason Spear. That's 6th and 7th here. They're right behind Ottaviani. Ottaviani did a nice job on the long run during that first run. So he'll try to repeat that and try and hold off guys at the same time. Sometimes, you know you're good on a long run, Randy, and you're out there driving, and you got 3 guys who are, or 1 guy even, just right all over you, on your bumper, all over you. At this point, he's actually faster, but you don't want to let him go because you're thinking in 10, 20 laps, I'm going to be much better than him. That makes it awful difficult on you, doesn't it?
It does, because if you let him go and then you catch him in 10 to 15 laps, is he going to let you go, or are you going to have to race him hard to get around him and burn your tires up more? So it's a balancing act.
It really is. Looking on James A. Bear back here in 9th position. He's got Tom Ashley in front of him. That's Paul Travis behind him. He's a lap down. And then Rachel Hunt wrapping that high side still. She's liking it up there. I think the more I think about how this car is reacting, I think part of what she's doing, perhaps, is trying to get some wear on that right front by driving in hard under braking. Trying to balance that car out? I'm not sure, Randy, but that might be something to do with it.
That could absolutely be what she's doing, because you get that even wear on your right sides at the end of these runs. It's not that snappy loose like we've seen some of the other guys have.
The one guy who benefited from this caution, I would say, is Jason Spear. He looked good in the first run. He made one mistake that made him lose 10 spots, and he fought to get back to where he was. Now he finds himself in 6th here. If he can avoid that early mistake, he looked pretty good on the long run.
He absolutely did. He lost all those spots with that mistake, but actually through a 30-lap run, he caught back up and was moving towards the front.
So great job by those two, Tony Ratliff, Jason Spear. George Leal, he's made his way to 4th early in the race and found himself like this is kind of his home. I'm a little surprised that, Leal and Reiner, we're used to them dominating a lot of these races. Not here tonight, Randy.
And it could just be the nature of this track. This track is very difficult to run. And your concentration level every lap, your braking point's got to be perfect with the bumps and not burn your tires off. So it's definitely a difficult track, and we've seen Jason Jackson on these short tracks. He's smooth, he's calculated. So definitely expected him to be somebody to contend with.
Absolutely. Out in YouTube land, we've got Mike Freeman out there. Greets all, and greetings to you, Mike. Mike, you just let us know you want us to check in on your favorite driver or anything. Jason Jackson leading here just past halfway, lap 103 of 200. It's Jason Ratliff, Greg Ratliff, and then George Leal has broken up the Ratliff train with Tony Ratliff in 5th now, and Spears still stalking him.
Yeah, and Jason's actually not letting Tony or anybody really pull away from him. He's just keeping pace with them, just waiting for them to make a mistake, and he's going to take advantage.
So we're on board here with Jason Spear. You can see those bumps. My goodness, they are hard to deal with. Little correction of the wheel there. He's looking for an opening, Randy. There just isn't one.
Yeah, and you can't force it because you're going to pinch yourself into a mistake.
Well, that's the thing. This is a type of track. Now, I'm not encouraging it, but you got to be a little bit rough here. If you want to pass guys who are your equal or something, you got to get in there and be able to door smash a little bit, don't you?
You do. It's one of the old school NASCAR tracks that, this is where bump and run, and get your elbows out a little bit if you want to make some moves.
Yeah, so most leagues are adverse to that kind of stuff, and Nergy are no different. Love our green flag racing, but I think in this particular battle, Jason Spear, Tony Ratliff, I think if you want to make a move on him, you're going to have to force that car underneath them and make your own room.
That or literally just push them into making a mistake. You got to try outside, inside, anything you can.
So remember, Reiner got the lucky dog. I don't think he was able to pit because of the way it works around here. I mean, he would have been allowed, but he would have lost a lap probably if he tried. So Reiner out there on slightly older tires, not faring well, in 10th right now. Hunt in 11th. Kane's 12th. And Travis, your first car a lap down, so he would be your lucky dog. And it looks like he's got about a 2-second gap on Corey Leal for that spot. So Travis looking good if there's a caution that comes out.
Yeah, and I bet you everybody from about 7th on back is, screaming for a caution. There's debris, there's rain, there's something.
Thing is, I mean, you got a lot of separation out here. One thing I do see, and let's go to Edward Kane and go to his nose there, and you'll see in front of him when Corey Leal gets there, and watch the damage on the bumper of Corey Leal. I'm telling you, I think I can see an imprint of a car back there.
Oh, it's definitely the nose print of another car.
You see Kane trying to get underneath them, getting a little loose, and that's the problem. You can't get the power off the corner.
No, not without that whole track to sweep out to that outside wall.
But Kane's going to get by, and that's a lap car, Corey Leal. Out front, Jason Jackson dominating so far. Right now, a 1.7 second lead. Pretty big on a short track. You can see visually where Jason Ratliff is. Then you got Greg Ratliff in third. Looks like he's being more patient this time. And Leal, we know how patient he is. He might have learned something as well. But 86 laps on a track like this is about equivalent of a 35 at some other track.
Yeah, and if you're somebody like George Leal that's almost 4 seconds, you don't have a lot of time, so you got to start making your move as early as you can. If you have anything left, you kind of got to start pushing.
So Corey Buskirk into the pits here. Unscheduled stop, I would say. We go back to Spear and Tony Ratliff continuing to battle here. And this is the point. I mean, I've been here many times. And if I'm Spear, I'm probably losing my patience. I might want to tap that bumper just to say hello,
Just to let them know, hey, I think I'm faster than you. I got to go.
And you see Buskirk coming out of the pits there. Awful tricky place to come off a pit road under green, Randy. You come out, traffic wants to get down there through that corner. It's a dangerous, dangerous situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's not a lot of runoff room from the pit road to the track. You're instantly right in that bottom lane where everybody seems to be trying to run.
Spear finally takes to the high side, and I love this. This is what I talk about a lot. I like to get in there and throw it in hard in the high side, Randy. Call it the shocker. You want to get to his outside, have his spotters say car outside in the middle of the corner. Might freak him out a little bit, and he'll have to lift a bit, and you can get by him.
Have to lift a bit and unsure of if you can swing out to the wall coming off the corner.
Right, puts a lot of uncertainty and only a quarter of a second to make decisions. So, it's dangerous for sure, but it is the move. You're not going to get by him on the bottom. That much has been made clear to you. So you might as well drive it in deep and try to get to his outside. Unable to do anything. I mean, let's give Tony Ratliff credit, right? I mean, he's done a nice job here holding off Spear.
He's defending. He's doing it clean. He's running his line, and he's forcing Jason to do exactly what you said. You got to throw it in there either high, get him off his game, or you got to try muscling your way inside of him.
So that battle continues. Behind them, you got Otto Viani, Tom Ashley, and then James A. Bear is quite a ways back. So that, these are two-car battles out on the track. One for 5th, one for 7th. Spear again trying to make a move. This time he might have it. Maybe Tony has finally given it to him here. He made him earn it, though.
Oh, he did for the last 15 laps, and it looks like Jason just was taking it, whether he was giving it or not.
Yeah, sometimes that's the only choice, Randy.
Well, after 124 laps, patience is running out, and laps are running out.
So Jason Jackson out here, let's go back on board with him, have a look. I mean, this is what you want, Randy. This is a nice evening here. You're just drinking your pop, got your feet up. I mean, he's making it look really easy here, and he doesn't look like he's doing anything special.
No, it looks like he's just driving. It's not slow, because obviously he's fast, but it's just so smooth. It's a rhythm. Just corner after corner, the car isn't out of shape. He's hitting his marks, and he's just pulling away. And yes, these are the nights you dream of. Now you just dream there's no caution.
Yeah, well, isn't that the truth? So some praying for a caution, others praying for no caution. And, if you're to see a caution here, it's probably going to be a single car event. It's going to be someone breaking loose. But someone who's breaking out a little bit is a Greg Ratliff. Maybe not the last lap, but before that, he'd been one of the fastest guys out there. And I think Greg learned a little something on that first run. It looks like he's a little bit stronger here later in the second run.
Yeah, he didn't. It looks like he didn't push early on, saving some tires. There's plenty of laps. Like we went back to green, there was 115 to 120 laps left. And that first run he pushed, and he lost at the end of that run. This time it looks like he learned from that mistake, and he saved some tire, and he's actually running up same as Jason for lap times.
So Jason Spear, after he got by Tony Ratliff, he is quickly catching up to George Leal. And it looks like Jason Spear, one of the fastest guys on the track. I mean, I love what I'm seeing. And, it's odd because it comes at a couple of guys' expenses almost, Randy, and that's Leal and Reiner. And again, I'm so used to seeing them out front that it's kind of nice to see these other guys, and I think they probably feel it too. How nice would it be for Jason just to get up here and pass George Leal?
Oh, and I'm sure in Jason's mind that's a goal. George has won countless races this season. He's been up front week in and week out, so to compete with them and be able to run them down and pass them, it's an accomplishment for the other drivers.
Spear making his move as we go side by side. Great little dive down to the bottom. Leal gonna give it to him by the looks of it. Yeah, so Leal gives him up. I mean, are you surprised, Randy?
I am with, we got 67 laps to go. That's not a lot of laps here.
Yeah, I mean, good courtesy, great for Jason Spear. I mean, you can see he's got more speed. He's got something figured out here. He's looking awfully good. He's about 2 seconds behind the big dog, Greg Ratliff here, who's trying to catch up to Jason Ratliff so that, at the old dinner table on Thanksgiving, I mean, we always talk about it with these Ratliffs. I mean, Greg was dominant for a long time. But as of late, Jason and Tony have kind of been, dare I say, even better than Greg for portions of the season. So, I mean, Greg's trying to reestablish himself almost.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting conversation over dinner weekly if, who beat who and who's running stronger, who's gaining the most positions.
Well, it brings you back a little bit, when you got three guys, obviously you would think live very close together and all that, and can actually visit each other and talk about it. Back in the old days, Randy, back in my time, in the early 1910s, when you could only play video games, with a friend in your room. And, you would talk about it, obviously, because you're right there. And some of that's missing these days.
Yeah. Some of that nowadays, it's if you don't get a message, it's I'll see you next week. There's no more competitive juices in a week. Start all over again.
Well, speaking of start all over again, here we go again. Jason Jackson now reaches lap traffic. Corey Leal is there. Next up is the Toadman's back out here as well. So this is going to slow down Jackson. That's going to bring Jason Ratliff and Greg Ratliff up here slightly. It's not as bad as last time. Last time it was too wide, but Corey was fighting him a little bit there, but now he's clear.
Yeah, and that's all Jackson's hoping for is, just one at a time, no side by side. Let Jason run his line, and he'll pass the guys as he can, and not hold them up.
Well, we're going to have to go back to the old days. We're going to the gyro cam here. We got to get our old cameras back up and running soon here as well, Randy. And to anybody here watching, of course, we've had a few technical problems last week, and new PC and all files are gone. So, we're rebuilding from scratch. So we're working on it here, folks. We're going to bring out the gyro cam again. I mean, this was always fun to look at.
Oh, yeah. It's always entertaining, and I can tell you, as you're driving this, you swear these corners are flat, or they're actually pitched away as you're in the car, even though there is banking on the track.
Well, I'll tell you this, though. I mean, take a picture of me mid-race, and what do you think you're going to see? Yeah, my head's going to be tilted to the side. I might be leaning almost out of my chair. So, there's some realism when you're at home as well, Randy.
Oh, absolutely. And as you're leaning out of your chair, you're just hoping for more grip to get it to turn a little bit better, to get more traction.
Right. Trying to put that weight on the inside of the car. And I got a lot of weight, Randy.
Oh, we all do.
They talk about having a good center of gravity. I think I got that covered.
Like I said, but I think we all do. But Jason Jackson doing a great job, like we talked about before. If the lap cars aren't side by side, they're kind of spread out, so he's just picking them off one as they come, doing a great job.
He is. I mean, the race, there's not a whole lot going on, but I gotta say, watching Jason Jackson's been a total pleasure here tonight. This car is not easy to drive here, folks. I mean, this fixed setup is, it's very difficult. Can't overpower the car. You got to use what they call, press it like there's an egg under the throttle. You want to roll that egg forward and roll it back. You don't want to stamp on it. As I always say, Randy, it's not an on-off switch, and nobody's doing it better than the 86 right now.
I couldn't agree more. It's just, and he's been consistent the whole night doing it that way.
Look back at the Toad Man out here. He is currently, I don't know how many laps down, but in 17th place. Looks like 20 laps down. I mean, I commend him for being out on the track here, Randy.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 laps down. He's really not racing anybody in front of him or behind him, but still out there running laps, giving it his all.
Where's that gyro cam going?
And we've got ourselves Mr. Newton up in the booth. How we doing, Bulldog?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to listen on my phone to Jackson. Look like he's pulling away from the field right now.
Yeah, I mean, do you got visuals right now, Adam?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah, Jackson's been dominant from the start, just smooth. He's making it look easy. I mean, you're a good driver out here on these short tracks. Tell us a little bit about what he's doing, because, heck, it almost looks like he's driving slow and he's pulling away from people.
Yeah, he's letting off early, letting the car roll to center to be able to get on the gas early on the exit, and that's where he's really just lighting them up right now. You can see where the fire coming out the exhaust pipes right there, but he's being silky smooth on the bottom. And unlike the All-Star race, he's not rim riding at the minute, but yeah, he's just taking a nice, good, smooth entry into one, and that's the biggest key here.
Well, it is, and one of the other storylines that maybe you miss is, Leal and Reiner, they just haven't been their dominant self. Another story developing, Spear up into the top three. So Jason Spear early on, Adam, he got loose. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but he got passed by about 10 cars, found himself near the back of the field, worked his way to maybe 13th or higher, then caution come out. He finds himself in 6th in the restart, and he's looked pretty stout the whole time. Now worked his way up to 3rd.
Yeah, traditionally, Jason is really good here at North Wilkesboro. This is kind of like a home track for him, and they've been there many, many, many times over the years and whatnot. So this track really suits Jason's driving style.
Well, he is certainly showing it.
Want to give a shout out to the great Randello for stepping in for me tonight. I needed the assistance and just wanted to say thank you.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Yeah, I appreciate that, and that's what makes this group of racing guys in our little group is really special. We're here for each other, and that's part of the brotherhood, and it makes it fantastic.
yeah, it absolutely is. It's you take it from someone who was just offline for a few days with these computer issues that it's you miss everybody in here. It is a brotherhood. I couldn't have said it better myself. But back to racing. Jackson first, Greg Ratliff, the big dog as he called him, into 2nd. But, I mean, right there, Jason Spear already closing in on him. So, I mean, Spear running him and Otto Viani running the fastest times. Tom Ashley as well running fast times. So those three are the fastest on the track right now, Adam.
Yeah, and I'm liking what I'm seeing out of those two guys. Jason's really just doing the same thing that Jackson has done and rolling that bottom real good and backing off on the entry, and he's getting the most out of his tires right now, because from the previous runs on this set this week, it seemed like it was a little loose on the right rear, and you had to maintain it. Otherwise, you really fail in the long run.
Yeah, doing a great job. Greg Ratliff sped up slightly, so their times almost identical. Big question here is, does Corey Leal cut Jason Spear some slack, or does he race hard here? He's already got a dent on the bumper. Jason might be thinking give him another one if he. Well, it looks like Corey's probably on fresh rubber, so he's going to get away here.
Yeah, but you see how it's smooth and how much Jason closed up on Big Dog in that corner right there. He just ate him up by 3 car lengths in the center. And that's, one other guy that was really good here, and Jason just got loose coming off of 2, was Lance. Lance is really, really good at rolling the center here. as we see Jason gets by a big dog.
Yeah, Ripka falling to third. Jason Spear making his way up to second, up 7 spots on the night. Jason Jackson 4 seconds ahead, and he is still running fast time. So be a good time maybe for Jason to get a caution and see if he can do something with them.
Yeah, he's not quite as fast as the leader, but I'd like to see what this next lap or couple laps is going to do. He was about half a tenth off of what Jackson was running, but there's still, a little bit of time to make a run at him. I don't know if he's going to have enough tire left, but he can certainly make a charge.
Well, what I noticed here is a cloud come over the track there, and all of a sudden we have a much different times showing up. I mean, they were about a tenth and a half faster than their times with that cloud on the track.
Yeah, and that past lap, Jason actually beat Jackson by 2/10 at the line. So maybe Jason does have something for him. Try to run him down.
Yeah, I mean, he's running out of time here. 33 to go at the line for Jason Jackson, your race leader and pole sitter, doing one heck of a job. Reiner is now a lap down in 12th place. So our points leader not having the night that he would want. But, I mean, he's got a substantial lead, but this will put a little dent in it here tonight.
Yeah, he's had such a dominant season. I'm wondering if his crew forgot to plug the spark plugs back in his car.
It could be.
Either that or they filled the trunk of the car up with too much sand tonight. Who knows?
Well, there is always that. Another guy I want to highlight. How about Tom Ashley tonight? Tom's been running good times. He's up 7 spots in 7th spot, and he's knocking on the door to George Leal and Otto Viani here.
I tell you, pace-wise, that last couple laps, Jason has really turned up the wick, and so has Otto Viani. He's running some really good lap times as well.
Yeah, well, Otto Viani was very good on the first run. Now, these guys got to go, I can't remember, but around 115 laps here from the last stop. Are they going to be able to make it here, Adam?
Yeah, gas didn't seem like it was a problem in the fixed races or opens this week. You could run roughly about 125 to 120 laps on the tank. So they should be good on the gas. It's just maintaining that tire is what's going to be the most important thing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've seen it, like I said, in the first run, almost a full run there for the cars before the caution came out. And, you could see a lot of guys even pitted around lap 70, some of them earlier than that because they didn't like the way it was handling. And you just can't throttle up out of these corners, can you?
Oh, absolutely not, especially going downhill in the 3 and 4. Going up the hill, it's not as bad, but you start to spin coming off the corner, and you can get loose real quick doing that.
All right, this battle continues. Ashley stalking Leal, Otto Viani just in front of them. A little further up, you get to Jason Ratliff, or quite a ways up. So the rifleman in 4th here. Greg Ratliff in 3rd. There's how far Jason Spears put on those guys since getting around them. He now finds himself about 3.5 seconds behind Jason Jackson. So he's cut it by about a second here.
Yeah, he's really ripping it. There's been a lap or two when Jackson has hit 2088, and that last lap that Spear did was a 2880. So he's on the move, and I noticed that Ratliff has picked up the pace as well. But want to give a shout out to Jason. He's having a heck of a race, Jason Ratliff as well.
Yeah, Jason, another solid run by him. So the Jasons, Jason Jackson leading, Jason Spear in 2nd, and Jason Ratliff in 4th, all having a night. I mean, it's not Friday the 13th, is it?
I'm starting to wonder, it's the Jason show for sure.
I mean, we know how many lives Jason has, but So
yeah, I think if Jason can keep clipping off more and more, get around these lap cars, he might have a shot. I mean, we're getting ready to come up, 2 laps shy of 20 to go.
Well, something just happened. Jason Jackson ran a 21.6 just a lap ago, followed up with a 21.2. Well, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden Spears 2.5 seconds behind him.
Yeah, he had a little bit of looseness trying to get past Corey and Edward Kane, trying to lap them, and right now Corey got on by Jackson and starting to pull away a little bit.
All right, so Jason Jackson, your leader, 21 laps remaining. Spear hunting him quickly. Does he have enough time? I don't know. Other battles, you got Ottaviani, Leal. Ashley's fallen off a little bit as a train forms behind him.
Yeah,
So,
right in that lap, he put some gap back on him. I think Jackson can probably conserve his tires a little bit. He didn't have to push as hard in case Spears does try to make a charge at him. I would maintain my my tire wear right now and just ride.
yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of concern from Jason Jackson. He's managing that stuff. He's managing that ride. When he really wants to, he can throw down a lap. I think I seen him throw down a 20.7 there a couple laps ago.
Yeah, he threw down a 9:21 that lap, and Spear threw down a 8:97. So Spear, closed it up some, but I think just, Father Time is not going to be on Spear's side tonight.
No, and time running out for everybody who wants to make a move. So Ottaviani has held off Leal. He's starting to pull away. We kind of seen that in the first run. And then you got Leal trying to hold off Tom Ashley. That's your main battle out on the track.
Yeah, and, looking at Tom Ashley right now, he's giving that car a well of a run between, him and Tony Ratliff right now.
Let's go on board here with Tom Ashley, and maybe you can just speak a little bit about what you're seeing, Newton. For me, what I'm seeing, it's a pretty smooth ride here.
Yeah, he's not putting a lot of brake in it. He's trying to let off, and he's doing a line that I like to run, and a couple other guys like to run. He's being a little bit cautious going up the hill, but he's got a good, smooth, late entry into 3 and 4, and he's just running real consistent. Looks like Bryce is having more problems right now. Wondering if his gas pedal was working tonight.
I'm telling you, I mean, Brace struggling a little bit out here, and we go on board with him. So, you see him there, a little correction off on the exit there. He might be overdriving it slightly there, coming in a little harder, not quite getting the exit that he'd like. So he's struggling a little bit, and North Wilkesboro can do this to guys.
Yeah, some guys, it's a feast of fan. Ooh, man, he got real low
Wow.
on the exit right there.
The fast hands
like
award there.
Oh, yeah, it's feast of famine for a lot of guys.
So we're getting down to it. 12 laps remaining. Jason Jackson out front. Jason Spears second. And you can see he has put 3.5 seconds on Greg Ratliff already. So Jason Spears still moving, but he's probably running out of time. There's Jason Ratliff in fourth, and back to Otto Viani, then Leal and Tom Ashley. Ashley's still stalking.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little bit of nose on the air of that front of that car to get that run up off the hill. I see he's rotating a little bit better than Leal in 3 and 4, and that's where he's been closing the gap up a little bit. It's here on exit, but he's got 10 laps to do it, basically.
And we ask all our YouTube viewers out there again, if you hear any problems with volumes or anything else, please let us know, as we're working with a new computer, new files, and yeah, we're figuring it all out.
As Jason Jackson's, oh, looks like we got some smoke up ahead. I think somebody must have, yep, got loose and came on the pit road.
Who came in there? The Toad Man, it looks like.
Toad Man got loose coming off of the corner, and he shot down pit road.
Let's get, oh, there we see it, the 19. He got loose, and they pointed him to the garage, and he said, you know what? I heard they got beer down here.
Yeah, I think that's a good time waiting right there.
Well, no, he's coming back out. How about the perseverance of the Toad Man? Over 20 laps down, he says, no, I came here to race. I'm finishing, damn it.
That's that good never give up. I'll tell you right now, but I tell you, man, Ashley is giving it all. He just scraped the wall, but he's giving it his all to try to get up here too, Leo, and he's just running out of time. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off.
I don't think he is. What I'd like to see him do is go really high in 1 and 2 and try and cut it down and get that mammoth run you can get off of 2.
Yeah, that would be the ideal thing right now, to pick up a little bit of speed. But right now we're just watching Jason Jackson drive off in the sunset to go get his moonshine trophy right now.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? And what do you get with that? Does that come with the still, or?
Yeah, it comes with the copper steel. It's a replica of the steel that the guys used back in the day when the moonshine was running. And not saying it still isn't, but it's a replica of a steel from back in the day up there, and it's a super cool trophy. I've actually got to see one in person that a friend of mine won, and it's really sharp.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a favorite on any mantle, or at least on mine. I'm not sure I could keep it on the mantle, though. I might have to reverse engineer that trophy.
Absolutely.
There's Spear. What an effort from the 83 tonight. He has cut it to a under 2 second gap right now. So Jason Spear, I mean, if he didn't have that early mistake, he might be talking about victory lane tonight. Wow, what a drive.
And Jackson just got the white flag. Actually, that's it.
Jason, no, white flag right now. So Jason Jackson down through 3, through 4, the 86 riding his Civil Tech machine, gonna win here at North Wilkesboro. What a ride. Spear will be second. Ratliff will come home in third. Well, and fourth. That's Greg and Jason. And then Otto Viani will round out your top 5. Unbelievable. Jason Jackson putting on a show, and Jason Spear, backing up that Jason name as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and for his second victory of the year. No, I was actually watching the flagman, and I saw him switch the flag. I didn't have the counter on, and that's why I thought the race was over. But yeah, Jason's burning them down.
He is burning them down. Excited, man. So we're going to just leave the standings up here. As again, we're working through the SDK stuff and results and championship standings. That'll have to wait another week here, as we're a bit bare bones here tonight. You know a little something about being bare, don't you, Adam?
Yeah, I had my struggles with my computer last year, so I definitely know about being bare.
I just hope you're not a furry.
I am a fur lover.
Oh boy, here we go. Jason Jackson taking a little Polish victory lap. I gotta tell you, it's great to be back in the booth, Adam. I thank you for showing up here on a night you probably didn't want to, and appreciate it. And Randy, my hat's off to you, brother. We both appreciate you coming in and filling in. And I just want to thank RGR Racing League here for having us and putting up with this temporary glitch here. And hey, it's great to be back, Adam, and we're only going to get better and better as we go along.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Look forward to seeing what this new computer can do with this new graphics card, and let that thing shine.
Yeah, on the bright side, we had no drop frames. Looked like a good stream, so we'll see. If you got any comments, please write them in. But we're probably going to just wrap it up for here, and we'll try and get a little more added in for Thursday night and see if we can't kick it up a notch as the work continues here on the computer. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Adam Newton, and the great Randy, that is going to wrap it up here from North Wilkesboro, where Jason Jackson took the victory, and we can't wait to see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.